I've assembled everything needed to change the oil on this 2010 Toyota Corolla. I got just over 4 quarts of oil here. It takes about 4.4, 5W20 with filter change. And I'm going to change the filter. It's a cartridge style filter from CH10358. Filter wrench, 65mm, 14 flutes. You have a 15mm socket and a ratchet. And then just some of the incidentals here. Rubber gloves so you keep that hot oil off your hands. Of course, this car's all warmed up, so they'll flow out of there good. And then the drain pan, put the used oil in. And a funnel to add oil back in. And also a bottle to put in the old oil to have recycled. The car, I have it up on ramps. You can work on this car without the ramps. Just have a lot less room. It's a lot more convenient. Okay, we're going to drain the oil in this Corolla. That's 14mm there. Drain pan in place. Engine's nice and oil's nice and warm. Set your ratchet to loosen. Have on the gloves. And there it goes. It's about every 5,000 or 6,000 mile interval. Now this particular job should be done. I like to do this job myself just because I can do it in my garage at my leisure. Easy job. Not going to save a ton of money, no, over having somebody else do it. But at least I know it's done right. I know the quality oil that's put in there. And I know that things are torqued up and finished up the way they should be. So let this drain now for probably 15 minutes. No rush at all. Okay, now that we're down to a slow drip, I'll put the drain plug back in and cinch it down. Just give it a doesn't have to be super tight. Always good to have some rags around. Now that we're done with draining the oil, move it a bit further, and you will see, shine some light on it, right back here, the oil filter cover. Okay, so I'm going to put our filter wrench on there. I'm going to tap it on there. I like to set the filter down. Okay, there's an O-ring on this that has to be changed out, and the new seal, the new filter comes with one. So take the old one out, put some motor oil on your replacement, a little clean oil, and reinstall it. And it's a matter of turning it on. Okay, so we have our new filter. Slip it inside. Spring loaded. You don't want to over-torque this. Just once it catches just a little bit more. You can wipe off the filler cap a little bit. Make sure there's no debris on there. This takes 5W20. Like I said, 4 1/4 quarts. So there's one, repeat 3 times, plus another quarter or so, and the oil change is done. We're going to change out the air filter in this 2010 Toyota Corolla. And the filter's in here in this housing, and there's a couple of latches. There's one here on this side. There's one over back here on the other side. You're going to be able to see that. And then this pivots up, this upper housing, and then you can pull it forward and it'll pull out. And out comes the old filter. Yeah, this one's had it. So we've got a fram replacement here. We slip this in place. There, seat it in there. Now once in there, slide this back, latch it, and that's it. About every once a year is a good interval for changing out a air filter. Here's the essentials for the spark plug change out. This is the tool. These are the tools that I'm going to be using to take the plugs in and out. 9/16 spark plug socket, some iridium plugs, gapping tool, 10mm to get at the coil pack, and that's pretty much it. First step here is to take this cover off, and it's pressed on three places, and off it comes. And now we can see our spark plugs, coil packs, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the first thing we're going to do then is pull out the connector to the coil pack. It's handy to just use a channel lock pliers on this to depress this. Okay, that being completed, 10mm socket and ratchet. Don't find much torque on this. And now we can kind of twist and pull the coil pack out. Okay, about the spark plug socket. Not a common one here. It's actually 14mm that Toyota has used here, but 9/16 will work. I had to buy this special for this because I didn't have it. Hadn't encountered that size before. Got this from Napa. Spent maybe $8. 9/16 is just a few thousandths different than 14mm, and this will work just fine. So to get in there, I found a kind of a handy set of tools to use for it. So to the socket, next I attach a 3/8 extension bar, a swivel, and the swivel's needed because, or the universal's needed because of the this fits straight up under the windshield wiper housing. Next, a 6-inch bar, extension bar. Now I like to use a 1/2-inch ratchet on this, so I'm going to put an adapter. This is all 3/8 inch, and then a 1/2-inch ratchet. Let's slide this in, and we're engaged. And from there on, we should be able to just twist it out. There's a lot of threads on this particular spark plug. There it is. Okay, the original plugs in here are iridium, and good for 120,000 miles. So that's what I'm putting back in. And I got auto light right here. This one's 9/16 spark plug. 9/16 is 1/4 inch. 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 1/4 inch XP5683. These are about $6.99 a piece. Okay, check the gap. The correct gap is .043 or 1.1 millimeter. Mine were just a little wide right out of the box, so I did have to adjust the gap a little bit. Use your gapping tool. And one more item I always do before I put them in. I used to use oil, but just put just a dab of anti-seize on the threads. Okay, we're gapped up and anti-seized. Back into our spark plug socket. And that always started by hand. I want to get the threads seating in there properly before you put any kind of torque on it. Okay, you don't have to use a torque wrench. I prefer it. It's around 18 to 20 foot-pounds generally on spark plugs. Okay, and we're there. Okay, it's out with our tools. And back in with the coil pack. Don't put much torque on this. There's a plastic part there. Plug in. Repeat 3 times. 3 more times. And done. With all new plugs in there. We'll put Toyota's cover back on. And we're all done. Thanks for watching this video on spark plug replacement. 2010 1.8 liter Toyota Corolla.